Good day to you all. This is Creative Works by Annie, and welcome to my channel. You know, I have really been enjoying these Monday coffee times. I'm really surprised. Like after the first one, I thought, oh God, I'm gonna quit. I'm so nervous. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't be in front of the camera on this side of the camera talking to you. Because believe it or not, I'm really an introvert and I like my time by myself. But this has been actually fun, and I'm enjoying. It's almost like therapy to get me out of my shell. So if you haven't seen the video for my latest one for Tree of Skulls, please check that out. And it's kind of devastating because I hit a frog a lot, so angry frog alert on that one. But today, since I'm in between things, I thought I'd just kind of waffle on and tell you a silly story. Now, growing up, I watched a lot of PBS because we had an antenna on our roof. We didn't have cable. So I watched a lot of PBS and spent a lot of time outside. So my entertainment was either climbing trees, playing kickball on the road, building forts out in the woods, being just a tomboy. But when I came in and I wanted to watch TV, I was welcomed with open arms to Sesame Street, Newton's Apple, Reading Rainbow, Mr. Rogers, of course, and then there was a couple other ones that some might remember, some might not remember. One of my favorites was Gather Round, and that was by a gentleman, and he would draw the pictures of the story. He would draw while I believe it was somebody else reading, and so he was my first artist that taught me about shading and hair and people and stuff like that. Another one of my favorites was Mr. Wizard, and I'm going to put a link below to some of these people because I just loved them. And there's a trick that I like to pull out for some weird parties, icebreaker type things, when people are like, type thing. And Mr. Wizard actually taught me a wonderful trick, and in the episode I linked down below, he actually shows it in there, and it's how to take a regular 8x11 piece of paper and cut it in such a way that you can walk through it. Yes. So after watching this, go watch the link below and surprise your kids. Dare your kids. Because that's like the greatest thing. And then they're going to learn something, and maybe they're going to want to watch Mr. Wizard and just learn wonderful stuff. Later on, Bill Nye, the science guy, he came around. So he's awesome too, but he was a little after my time. So I was Mr. Wizard. Another one, of course, I mentioned before was Commander Mark. Mark Kistler. I'm horrible with names. Anyways, I have him linked down below. And you can see some of his stuff. You can still subscribe to his channel and maybe take some wonderful little classes and show you how to draw and learn perspective and about shapes and shading and stuff like that. And he's just fun to boot. But the show that I watched mostly, believe it or not, was not Bob Ross. It was from his mentor. And I actually watched that with my mom. And his name was Bill Alexander, or William Alexander. He was a German painter, and his show was called Magic of Oil Painting. And if I can find if there's a link on YouTube, I'll link him down below as well. And from my knowledge is that Bob Ross actually took his classes and learned from him, and PBS kind of scooped him up as well, or the news channel scooped him up as well, and he became one of the greatest people in almost every single artist's life. So, but my mom, she loved Bill Alexander. So we'd sit there and we'd sit in our living room and we'd watch, and she wanted to learn how to paint. And so she bought his books. She bought his paintbrushes, his palettes, and um, I actually do have, the only thing I have left of any of his stuff are the palettes, the big palette boards. And so one day I was coming in to our house. It was in July. I don't know if I was coming in from a friend's house or if I was coming in back from my dad's house. But I walk into our back porch, which was a 3-season room, one of the coolest places to be in the summer because I had 3 giant windows and you could really get the breeze going through. And in the wintertime, it became a wonderful walk-in cooler. Now, being from Michigan, or anybody from the north, because I grew up in Michigan, so if you are from the north, you know that your garage, your car, back enclosed porches become the greatest thing in the wintertime. And so I'm walking in middle of July and it's hot out. And come in and there's my mom. Now my mom was not a tiny little person. Hang on. That's it. My mom had a beautiful pear-shaped hourglass figure. And like I said, she was not a tiny little gal. So I walk in there and here she is. She's standing in front of her easel. She has her splatter bucket or splatter box because she had to make a box and it had a hole in it. And then you would put your paintbrush in, go do 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 do. If you watched Bob Ross or Billy Alexander before, or if you do now, if you go to the link and watch either one of them, you will know this box. So she had that all set. She had her paints all set to go. She had everything just beautifully set up. So I walk in there and she's in her underwear. She's in her white bra and her white underwear. And she's almost in tears crying over working this painting. And it's like, you go up there and I'm like, well, what's wrong? What are you doing? She's working on her trees and everything, and she couldn't figure out what she was doing wrong. Well, later on, we figured out that it was July. It was hot out, and she's trying to do oil paintings. So her sky was not the beautiful blue with the white puffy clouds and the little bit of yellow for sunset or sunrise. She had green sky. Yeah. It kind of looked like algae. Yes. It was pretty bad. So, unfortunately, she never decided to pick up a paintbrush after that again, and she quit because of the green July sky. And I have a couple big regrets in my life dealing with my mom. She left this earth way too early. She had a pulmonary embolism, and about 19 years, it'll be 19 years this fall. And when we moved from, or she first off, she never really got to see what I could do. She never got to see how far I took my crochet. She never got to see where I took my graphic artistry or my acrylic painting, which, by the way, because of her green sky, I won't ever oil paint. I won't pick them up. Nope. I learned from her tears. I know I could probably do it and everything, but no. Not going to pick up oil paint and never work with them. So the other thing I regret, because she never got to see how I advanced, so that kind of hurts, because I know that she'd be really proud of the things that I accomplished. And the other regret was I don't have that painting. When we moved from my childhood home and she moved with me and to a different location in Michigan, she got rid of so many things. And her green Bill Alexander painting was sadly one of them. So that is going to be all for today. And since I have lots of other silly stories, you might hear some more. But if you have a topic you'd like me to talk about, or ask questions or anything, or if you want to have me try something. No oil painting. I'm not going to get into that. But if I do watercolors, But if you want me to try something, let me know. I'll see if it works, see if I can get the materials in time, either for the next episode or the one after that or the one after that. We'll see. So pop in any questions, pop in any ideas, pop in any topics down below. And if you follow me on Facebook, you can also pop questions in there, message me questions. The link down below will also be for or Linktree, where you can go check out my Etsy store, my Ravelry store, pick up patterns, pick up other little items for your household. Don't forget, you can pick up your mug. And so with that, I'm going to say adieu, and I hope you have a wonderful day.